Welcome back to the Wonderful Walks in Golf podcast, where we walk you through the industry's untold stories, brand reviews, history lessons, and swing lessons from industry legends to those fresh on the scene. We'll carry you through the world of golf, so you grab your bag, strap up, and enjoy the walk. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Wonderful Walks in Golf for the first time in Palm Springs. Dante to my right, Trent Feltz to my left. We wrapped up a Palm Springs Amateur this afternoon, and we're out here at the mountain course just kind of recapping, enjoying some drinks, thinking about the week. Guys, what do we think of the 2023 Palm Springs Amateur being in the books?
Couldn't have been any better.
Well, the DFL Classic was secured for this guy. Luckily, I played a little better this year.
I did not play too hot. I am dead fucking last, if anybody wants to know. But real bad first day, but the past second and third day, I turned it around and felt more like myself. A couple bad holes, but
We had some suicide watch on day one.
it was bad. It was very bad. But, I mean, all three pairings, all three groups that I've had this week, I mean, I couldn't ask for anything better.
We've got really good weather
Phenomenal.
this evening. The sun's setting on us here at the mountain course. We had a slight little bit of rain during the horse race, but that was the only precipitation we saw. It's been, just true Palm Springs weather for us again this year.
The last three holes for me on the Nicholas course, day 2, was a little rough, but somehow we ended up going birdie, par, birdie. Probably the highlight of the tournament on one of my worst rounds. You know, you love the way golf just sort of keeps you coming back.
Yeah, so. It did that to you. Dante said it's doing that to him as well.
We had a discussion today that we were talking about golf, and I was like, golf is basically a drug, you know. And then Trent said it. He goes, "You're right." He goes, "You have your highs, and then you have your lows, and then when you're all the time lows, you need it again."
Well, let's talk about a high from, I think, both of our years this year. We brought our dads out this year.
We did.
They played the net division, which, again, is so fascinating about this golf tournament in particular. You get the gross division, you get net division. You have flights within both divisions that let older guys compete, whether they want to play gross or net. It's been special having our dads out here and kind of just grinning ear to ear on some of these golf courses.
It truly is, because from my experience, my dad he just turned 70 coming into this trip, and he was kind of complaining about all his buddies back home that either they don't want to spend the money to go on a trip, or if they do go on a golf trip, they're really not golfing every day. And he's like, if I'm going to go on a golf trip, I'm going to pay money, and I'm going to go on a golf trip. But that means we are playing golf every single day that we are there, and we're relaxing at the end of the day and just repeating until it's time to go home.
Yep.
So I said, Dad, why don't you come to Palm Springs with us? And he was a little hesitant at first, because I can't hang with. He goes, I don't know, I can't hang with you guys. And I had to explain to him that there is a net division, and there's specific divisions within age brackets. I said, and honestly, the company's called Fun Golf Vacations. I said, who gives a shit? Just come out, play, and then we stepped ground in here when we got our flight in, and he was just in awe the entire week, and he's already talking about next year.
I love it.
And for me, it's cool to see your guys' dads coming out, because, I never got to go on an opportunity like this with my dad. My dad passed away a few years ago. So it's like the whole time, it didn't really affect me all week, but I was just like, man, that's so cool to see. You bring your dad on a golf trip like this, and, it's definitely something special.
Yeah, and
so
I think
definitely cherish that, guys.
Oh, absolutely. And I think, you really have to take a step back and realize that, I know that was the highlight of the week.
Oh, for sure. I walked into today 4 shots back with a chance to win the gross division, and I didn't really capitalize on the opportunity, but I was walking up 18, and I was kind of thinking about what we just talked about. I'm like, you know what? At the end of the day, might not have done what I wanted to do, but I had a great time. Our dads were out here. We just chopped it up every night, hung out. It was just an experience that, you can put in the memory books, and you'll always have it to look back on and say, man, my dad and I did that. And, I got to spend it with you and your dad. Yeah. I got to spend it with Trent, and Trent got to see it. It was when you put that on the memory books, doesn't matter what you shot.
Yeah, and there's just times where obviously you can see in the video in the backdrop with the mountains where you just take a step back and you just take it in, just I mean, this is basically heaven on earth for golf. I mean, anywhere, because we were talking about with our partner today that we played with, Tyler, and I said it's really like heaven because you're almost in this. All these mountains are surrounding you, and you feel like you're in this crater, and you don't know what else is behind those mountains. And this is just it, and it's just. It's just unbelievable. It's one hell of a trip. I don't want to go home. Honestly, I hope the FAA cancels all the flights again tomorrow, and then gives me some extra
get a morning
time.
round in.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, I love it, man. It's like, this is my third year out here now. You've been here since I think maybe 5 or 6 years.
5 years, I think. So.
And now you're second.
Like the fifth that you're
so it's gotten way better. I mean, more people, and then Eric. The owner of Fun Golf Vacations, who puts on this event as the host, has just gotten better and better each year with the experience of doing stuff like the horse race is always fun. And then we have the simulator here at the mountain course. They just redid their clubhouse. So I don't know if it's the facilities or everything with the vibe that Eric has that he's putting it on. It's just been an acceleration each year. It gets better and better every year. So I can't say no to it. Honestly.
Even the tee gifts, Dante, you're wearing the pullover we got with the nice logo.
Yeah.
Great pullover and hat you get this year with a ball marker too. I mean, when you look at the value of what this golf event provides to, 70-year-olds, to 28-year-olds, to the whole spectrum of players and how good they are, it doesn't matter, right? You can be a 35 handicap, I think the one guy is, and he's loving life, enjoying himself, having a few brews, and just like kicking it back and having fun. I mean, how can you not when you're out here and we got this view behind us and you're playing golf?
It is great, man. Sometimes those mountains, I look at them and I'm like, kind of looks fake to me.
It truly does.
It's like, and then you get the sunsets out here.
It looks like something out of like Universal
Dude,
Studios.
If you haven't experienced this, I mean, just sign up for the Palm Springs Amateur. Whether you're in the net or the gross division, it is one of the best golf trips I've ever been on. I can't miss it every year. I can't miss it any year.
I knew the first year I came out here that I was like, this is an annual thing. It's on the calendar.
Yep.
I'm booking it. I'm saving for it. It's just kind of one of those things where once you do it once, you're going to want to do it. And I've even told Dante, and I think maybe I might have told you, I want property out here. Like Palm Springs is that special, man. It's so unique. My dad asked when we were coming out here, he's like, well, we played Pebble Beach. How does it compare to Pebble? And I was like, Dad, it doesn't compare to anything in the world. Palm Springs is just so unique. When we first started playing on Saturday morning, there were snow-capped mountains.
It was
and it was 70 degrees down where we were playing.
On the mountains.
Yeah.
You can see it coming down. The clouds are coming. It was pretty windy. It was actually really chilly, which I was a little shocked because the weather here in the mornings, it's 40s, 50s, and as soon as that sun comes up over the mountain and it hits maybe a high of 70, you're sweating and it feels like it's 80, 85 degrees.
Well, I mean, this time of year. Yeah,
well,
definitely.
This time of year, in January.
But if you come in, there's another event, Battle in the Desert, also out here at PGA West is a little hotter. But, this is perfect, actually. This is prime time. This is when you want to be in Palm Springs. You guys are coming the best time of year, so.
Yeah.
And then, going back to talking about making this an annual trip, my dad's saying again that he can't wait for next year, and we'll probably have a conversation with him. If he's legit, we might as well book the flight now for the following year.
I love it.
That's awesome.
I love it. Now it's something about this event, and I think my dad got to experience it, especially with the horse race this year. He competed, he finished third, so he got a little money in his pocket.
Yeah, that stand shot was pretty awesome.
That's the other cool thing that like this tournament adds just so much value, and if you're really a golf nut, you can get an insane amount of golf in while you're here. You get the Saturday, Sunday rounds before the tournament. You play Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. You get the horse race in the afternoon on Tuesday. And really, Monday, if you wanted to go get a replay somewhere, you could probably go get another 18 in by the end of the day.
Or you can do the Lights at Indio, which is a par 3 course not too far from where we stayed. And it's a par 3 course. I think I just said that. Got a couple
and it's at night.
And it's at night. There's floodlights all across the course. It's probably one of the coolest vibes that I think we had.
For sure.
Because this is my second year. We didn't do it I think we opted out of it just because we were beat from traveling because our flight got canceled and kind of just threw a wrench in everything. But that was awesome. I was actually considering going last night if I was up for it, but we all chilled in the hot tub anyway.
Yeah. Well, and that's the other thing.
Maybe we'll go tonight, guys.
We might go tonight. Might do a
Never
little
know.
dinner, award ceremony.
Have some more drinks out there and whack them around,
I've got to collect my skins first, though.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go. Well, I almost got you today.
I almost
You
iced
did.
him yesterday.
You did
But
almost
hey,
get me. He
I
did
almost
almost ice me.
Dude, let's cheers to an awesome trip, guys.
Cheers,
Yeah.
guys,
I know
to
we still got
the.
some more chatting to go, but
I
I just
know.
figured before our drinks are gone,
Jeez.
easy there.
Oh my
And
God.
we'll cheers to another successful trip.
Cheers to a successful trip. And Trent, I want to say this: cheers to our relationship and you, because I think it's
Yeah.
by meeting you that we've been so
we
privileged to
wouldn't
come
be
out here.
here.
Yeah. So
That's a good
thank
point.
you for connecting us with
Yeah.
Eric and Fun Golf Vacations, because I think we've turned this into something that's annual for not only us but now our fathers, which is just so
Yeah.
cool, man. And it's
God,
because
that
of
is
you.
cool.
So thank you.
Yeah,
That is
thank
that
you.
is, that is
was
cool
awesome.
that I could be a part of that. But also like to cue it into even a little bigger than that is like golf in general is about that. It's about a community sort of coming together, and why wouldn't I share something that's pretty awesome? It's like with what Patrick has going on. That's pretty awesome, right?
Yeah.
And there's so many cool stories in golf.
Well, I
that-
think
that just need to be shared, and then it brings everyone together.
I
Have
think
a great
building
time.
on that, you talk about building everyone together. We played with two gentlemen from San Jose, California, on the first day.
Yep.
We played on the second day. We were grouped with guys from
Toronto.
Toronto,
That was
Canada.
awesome.
Phenomenal
The
Canadians.
guy-
I cheers to you. You have one of the
gotta-
best accents in the world.
Dude, Canadians are
I have
awesome.
I have
Telling
to
you.
cheers. We played with Dwayne last year.
Yeah.
Dwayne's a hell of a guy. But I guess he brought his buddy from Toronto as well, Cam. Got to shout out to Cam.
Love
'cause
him.
Cam was hilarious. One of the incidents, we're standing on one of the tees. I think it was like first or second hole. He goes to mark his ball, and I'm like looking at this ball marker, and I'm like, what is that? So I was like, Cam, what is that? He goes, is that your ball marker? He goes, yeah, it's a Mountie hat. And I said, get out of
I mean,
here.
it is a
And he-
miniature bronze Mountie hat, like
the
the
best-
Mountie policeman from Canada.
Yep. And as soon after he said that, he goes, I'll tell you what, guys. He goes, you can take me out of Canada, but you can't take the Canadian out of me. And it was just a blast from there on out
I mean,
until we finished. with the
phenomenal
last
vibe with
putt
those
job.
two.
Dude, that's what it is, man. So many cool people come out here. Every year it seems like it doesn't matter what year you come, you're gonna meet some awesome people here, and that's definitely why Eric puts it on, is to bring together awesome people. I mean, you got Canadians, you got people from Utah, you got you guys from the East Coast, you got me from San Diego. I'm kind of spoiled. I only got to drive 2 hours, so that's
Lucky
great.
duck.
2.5 maybe if there's a little traffic, but
We got Vancouver. A lot of
Yeah.
Canadians out.
A lot of Canadians.
Vancouver,
Alberta.
Alberta.
Yeah.
It was awesome meeting them, talking to them, just kind of connecting in regards to the weather, which I thought
Yeah.
was hilarious. And everybody's like, we got to get out of this just winter crap. Just get a break. And they all come here, and they're just
I
like,
think
yeah.
that's the beautiful thing about this place is, like, when people touch down in Palm Springs, they just know that they're expecting paradise, and like there's a breath of fresh air that everyone just breathes out, and there's no stress. And even if there is stress on the golf course, it's gone pretty quickly because you realize what the views are around you. And that's the magic of where we're at right now.
Speaking of touching down, I thought it was hilarious, right? We're flying in. So my dad and I, flew out of Philly into Phoenix, connected through Phoenix, and then came direct to Palm Springs. Because at that time, we didn't know that they actually had an airport. So we decided to do that a little bit direct so we didn't have to travel even more via car. And he got the window seat coming in from Phoenix to Palm Springs, and it was just all over the mountains. And he's like, where are we going to land? I said, I don't know. I've never flown into Palm Springs, but kind of touch and land. He goes, holy shit. He goes,
I've
"Where
never
are we
flown into
land?"
Palm Springs.
Dude,
actually. That's
it's like
crazy.
literally, if you look at
Yeah.
the mountains over here, that's all you see flying over. And
When we played Cimarron on Saturday.
Cimarron,
Yep.
which was a hell of a course by the airport,
I'm
kind of
going
more
crazy
north
right
of
now.
Palm Springs area. You just, next thing you know, you're looking out when you're playing on whatever hole. If you look towards the airport, you just see all these mountains, and next thing you know, a plane just kind of comes through.
If you blink, all of a sudden there's a Southwest 747 just weaving its way through the mountains and coming down towards the airport.
Yeah,
It's pretty neat, and it's I mean, flying into Palm Springs is incredible. The airport is outside, which I thought was just bonkers.
that was wild.
Right? Like
I
you
mean-
come off your plane and then you walk out into this like open air airport. It's totally Palm
I've
Springs.
seen that
Yeah.
in like more like the Dominican side of things.
Yeah.
Like the Mexico and the destinations like that, the real south and all that.
Yeah.
But I wasn't expecting that when we flew into Palm
No.
Springs.
No, me either.
We were actually taxied like what two planes.
Flew in right
each
behind you.
other?
Flew in right behind you.
That was funny.
Just to wrap up, we can each kind of share a little bit of a highlight. I think would be pretty cool. For me, it's getting the last round with this guy.
Yeah.
I love it.
But no, I had something pretty cool happen. I made a birdie on the 18th hole at Stadium. Just hit a perfect 4-wood, and then hit shot to about, I don't know, what was it, 7 feet, and then ended up making the birdie a little bit downhill. And I was like, even saying before that, I was like, I don't know which way this breaks. So I kind of was like, let's just do a straight one, and it stayed straight the whole time.
Yeah.
Got the birdie the 18th hole on Stadium, so.
It's always a treat.
You know, definitely, it was fun, dude. Getting the last round with you as well,
Yep,
like, you
absolutely.
know. Just,
Glad we were able
cherry
to
on the top, so.
put that together. Yeah, definitely. I think, you know, obviously finishing it off with Trent, playing with Dalton the first 2 days was pretty much the highlight, but golf specific, I think it was yesterday. You know, I'm coming off Monday. I'm playing. It felt like I forgot how to hit a golf ball. You saw it. I had 5 balls in my golf bag. After the 10th hole, I had 1. If that says anything, I'm just going to leave it there. But I think the second day we're playing the Nicholas course, which actually is, I like that better than Stadium. We're coming up that a par 5. It's a little dogleg. It's a little right, dogleg right, and then it kind of just goes uphill. Dalton stuffs his for eagle for what you had, like what, less than a foot.
If it was inside 2 feet or outside 2 feet, it wasn't by much.
And I got, I was hitting the ball a lot better, was getting some confidence, and I decided, I was like, you know what, let me pull a hybrid real quick and just see how far I can just run it up there, and just hopefully have a wedge in. Next thing I know, I'm 30 feet from the pin on the green, and Dalton taps his in, and they're like, all right, Dante, let's see if we can. See what you can do. And I lipped out. Almost had eagle.
I thought he cut my skin for a
Cut your
second.
skin,
I was
yeah.
gonna be so mad, but instantly happy too, because it would have been, I knew, like, the highlight of his day, making eagle on that hole.
But I mean, you can't complain about a tap-in bird either.
No.
That was probably a highlight hole of the week.
You know, it's funny, and my highlight hole is that hole as well, with another hole in Nicholas course. I made 2 eagles in one round.
Watched them both.
That was my highlight. It was 1 eagle on the par 5. That's an island green. Hit driver 6-iron there, and then hit driver 6-iron to where I stuffed it that you almost cut me. So that was my highlight, man. Making 2 eagles in a round is incredible.
You made eagle on that hole, huh?
I
on
did.
the 16th.
Yeah.
Or it's the 15th, actually,
15th.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hit driver that was almost too good and almost went in the water.
Yeah.
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 I mean, it's funny because that hole kind of like sets up. There's a bunker, long-ass bunker that splits the fairway, and he just went directly
Honestly,
over
that's
it.
one of the toughest layups besides the one on Stadium.
Agreed.
Those 2 par 5s are like, good luck laying up.
You're just so indecisive.
You're like, I might as well go for it and just send it long over the water, but with the island green, you can't.
Yeah.
That's a crazy eagle. I didn't know you eagled that one.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was a special round. I made 2 eagles, a couple birdies. Only finished at 1 under, but I mean, it was still a special round.
That was a hell of a round. I watched it. He, besides a couple bad holes, which hurt the score. I mean, other than that,
I'm human.
Everything was pretty much near perfect for your game.
Yeah, no, you're right. It was fun. It was a fun round. Shot 71 on Nicholas, so my first under par tournament round of the year.
Dang.
So check it off the list, I guess.
That's great, man.
Checking
How
off
about my
early.
67 at Nicholas, though?
You're a dick.
I'm just kidding.
We're not even going to talk about that.
That was hilarious.
But yeah, guys, I appreciate you sitting down, and Trent, you especially, and hanging out with us for this week, and bearing with us. I know you're stuck with us for usually a week or so.
Yeah, usually. And, we're going to go out to Arizona as well and have a little bit more fun.
Keep the party going.
Dante's not going to come
I'm not
with
going
us,
to be there. I had to. I have other obligations, unfortunately, but I'll be.
You'll probably be there in spirit.
I will be there in spirit. I'll be watching it through the phone.
I'm going to try and channel my inner Dante and take some phenomenal landscape photos in Arizona, because Dante's always good about grabbing a nice photo of the landscape and sending it to me. So I'm going to try and channel my inner Dante when I'm in Arizona. I like it.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, boys.
Another
Well,
successful trip, guys.
can't beat it.
Such a great time, man.
Until next
Can't
year.
Can't
beat,
wait until next year.
Can't beat Palm Springs. You can't beat fun golf vacations. You just can't. It's a time of our lives. I think confidently say that.
I think I'm pretty confident we'll see some more East Coasters coming next year. I got some guys really reaching out to me asking price-wise too. I mean, it's a hell of a deal. You're playing phenomenal courses. It's what, 2 weeks? 2 weeks before the American Express tournament.
Really
on
a
the
week.
PGA?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Technically a week. You get to see another thing before we wrap up. I mean, you see all the PGA Tour trucks show up. You see them building the stands. You kind of see the whole operation leading up into what the tournament's going to be and what you guys see on TV. So it's kind of a real neat experience while at the same time you're playing that course.
Yeah. No, it really is, and it's something where, like, you don't get that experience unless you maybe go out to like Torrey Pines and play it a few weeks before.
Yeah.
The Farmers, like the stands are up, everything's ready to rock and roll for the pros.
Mhm.
We're just, as Patrick Cohen said, we're just warming it up for them.
Warming
Right?
it up for the
I
pros,
love that
man.
phrase, so I had to kind of steal it
and
from
we're being
him. But
serious, but we're not too serious, you know?
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah.
that's kind of how the tournament is. You don't have to be a great golfer. Just come out here. You can play the same course as the pros, and it's going to be a great time. No matter what you shoot,
And
you're gonna
I love
hang out with
tuning
great
in-
people.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
tuning in that tournament, like when it actually plays, because I'm watching them obviously destroy the golf course because they're just so damn good. But it's cool to see them play the course, see how they play it compared to my game, and see how I play it, and see
Absolutely.
what shots they hit, see where they land it, and all that. It's fun. I mean, if it was, if I could, maybe, I don't know, take 2-3 weeks out here so I can actually go to the tournament and really see it live. That would be sick. But
yeah, maybe
Right.
next year.
Maybe
Maybe
But
next
watching
year.
it on TV, the same course that you played though, like
Yeah.
what an experience, right?
yeah, I mean,
Every year I'm like, wow.
It's really.
I remember what I played there.
It draws you in, man.
Yeah.
It makes you say, like, man, I remember how I played this hole, and then you see the pros play it, and you're like, well, that's why I didn't break 80.
Yeah, exactly.
Same thing, and I told my dad last year because he didn't go, and I was like, we were watching on TV. I said, I played that hole. Oh, I did that.
Yeah.
I hit it into the water over there. They just cleared it. But
Yeah.
you talk about it. You talk like shot for shot, so he gets to see that as well. So
Yeah.
it's a lot of fun. It's gonna be awesome. to watch.
I agree. Well, guys, we're gonna wrap up Palm Springs Amateur for 2023. Appreciate you tuning in. You can go to fungolfvacations.com to check out the experience we just had. They also do a tournament in the spring, the Battle in the Desert. And does he still do the Palm Springs Shootout? Or is
I
there
think he just
another
still does
tournament?
the PGA West Shootout is
Okay.
what it is, yeah.
Yeah, so there's 2 different tournaments that you
Yeah.
can go check out on fungolfvacations.com. And come check us out, guys. We've rebranded. We used to be Enjoy the Walk Golf Podcast. We are now Wonderful Walks in Golf. You can find us at Wonderful Walks in Golf on Instagram and Twitter, as well as wonderfulwalksingolf.com to check out the latest releases from us on the podcast, the latest YouTube videos, blog posts from us, and more. So, guys, thanks for tuning in. And as always, get out there, carry your clubs.